Hey everybody, Patty Ann here. Hang on just a second. I had a question asked, let me check, over on our YouTube channel, and it was from Janet, and she said, how can I curve a line in Design Space? I know how to curve text, and I know how to make a solid line with shapes, but how do I curve that solid line like this? And she showed that little tilde or whatever it's called. Or how do you make a rounded rectangle or square, a rectangle or a square with rounded corners? Anyway, so I told her, come on over to the Facebook group and I'll show you a quick video there. And, you know, depending on how long this goes, I might just put it on YouTube too. But these are the two things she wants to make: a rectangle with rounded corners and a line. So I'm going to start with the rectangle first. I'm going to show you the harder way to make it, and then I'll show you the easier way to make it. All right, here's the harder way. So we get a shape and we get the square, bring the square over here, and then I just get a circle. And I'm going to make the circle smaller. And I'll change its color too so we can see it more easily. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to put him right in this upper left-hand corner. Now the way I'm going to make sure that he's exactly in the upper left-hand corner, so I'm going to click on both him, and notice over here in the layers panel he's selected. I'm going to hold down my shift key and grab the box. See, there are two layers selected. I'm going to come up here to align left, and then align top. So now it's perfectly there. Now I'm going to duplicate that one. Oh, no, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to duplicate the whole thing. I just want to select the circle and duplicate it. So I click on the circle to simply select it, then I'll come up here to duplicate. Now that's what I wanted. Now I'm going to select this circle and the box by holding down my shift key. So notice I have two things selected over here. And then I'm going to come up here to where it says align. And align not to the left this time, I want to align right. There we go, see? And then I want to align top. Okay, so far so good. I'm going to select this one and I'm going to come over and duplicate it. And I'm going to tell it align. Notice that the align tool isn't available up here. That's because I don't have two things selected. You have to have two things selected so they can be aligned to each other. So I select the box, hold down the shift key, select the circle, or I could select them over here in the layers panel. Then again, I'm going to come up to the align tool, right. There we go, and I'll draw a box over it again, the box in this one, and say align bottom. Okay, now I'm going to highlight just him, and I'm going to duplicate, bring him over here. I'm going to select the box, hold down my shift key and select him. Just two things are selected. And I'm going to say align left and align bottom. Perfect. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is I have to slice each one of these circles out individually. If I try to do them all at once, notice that the slice tool is not available. So I have to go here and do each one individually. So I drew a square or a rectangle around, grabbing both that little yellow circle and part of the box. So two things are selected over here in the layers panel. I'll say slice. Okay, when you slice something, it automatically brings it up here to the top layer on top of the other things that we know are still hidden under there. So since I know they're there, I can just do this, which has me grab two layers of both of them again, and I can have slice. And now I know there's one under here, so I can go like this and watch the layers panel. When I let go of this, it's going to select two items over there. Yep, 1, 2. I can say slice. And we've done 3 out of 4, so I have to do 1 more of these. Watch the layers panel. Nothing is selected until I let go of my mouse button. And then 2 things are selected and I can slice. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to click on the box. And since I've just clicked on the box and only one thing is selected over here, I can contour. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to contour these corners out. I can either click on them here in the image, or I can click on them over here in the panel. Click off of this, and there it is, except for one last thing that we have to do, because right now these are individual pieces. Look, hit undo. So right now what I need to do is select everything and then go to weld. So as I said, that's one way to do it. A much easier way to do it is to do this. Go to Images, go to Cartridges, Cricut Craft Room. See if I just hit Cricut Craft Room. Okay, here it is. Cricut Craft Room Basics. This is free to everybody, whether you have access or not. These are always free. So we can go to view all 27 images if we want to. 27 free images. And again, whether you have access or not, these are free. And look, there's one automatically that I could just insert if I wanted a rounded rectangle or square. So that's the easy way. All right. So then you also wanted to know about the line. The only way that I know to do a line like this is to pretend it's text. So I got the text tool out, and mine happened to be at Samantha, which you don't have. Let me pull down a an Access font. And what I'm going to try to do is see if this one will do it. Oh, nope, it doesn't know that. What I'm trying to do is the line. So I'm going to have to go through here until I can see one that you can do a dash line with. Okay, so AR Bonnie has the dash lines. And now since it thinks that this is text, I can come up here and change the letter spacing till they're all touching like that. And then I can make it a little shorter. Then what I would do is I would click on it to highlight it, and I would come up here to duplicate it. Okay, now I have 2 of them. So then the next thing I would do is I would use the curve tool. Since this is like text, I can use the curve tool, and I can curve it however I'd like. So in my sample here, I went down first. On this one, I'll go up first. And then with this second one, I'll just curve it the opposite way. And then the other thing that I would do is, that's pretty good, but I would zoom way in with this button down here, way in, to make sure that I get these lined up really well. There's the break, okay. So I'd line them up really well. Okay, that looks pretty well perfect. Then I would just draw a box around them and come down here and weld. And that's all there is to making that. So you could make as many little humpy things as you want to with that. Let's make this a little smaller again. And let's just make it smaller. And honestly, I could just take this one that I started on earlier, and I think I would just go to flip horizontal, and I could just add these 2 together. And again, I would zoom way far in to make sure that I have them matching up perfectly. And then I would come over here and weld. And that's it. That's how you can make a line, a curvy line, in Cricut Design Space. So I hope this helps. Let me know, Janet, if you have any other questions, and I'll be glad to try to answer them. Thanks, you guys. Bye-bye.